Welcome to Let's Get Creative with Sam, the podcast. I'm Sam Rawlings and I'm a children's creative counsellor. That means I help kids unlock their imaginations and explore the amazing world of creativity. But being creative can also be a great way to take care of our minds and feelings, which is super important. In this podcast, we'll be doing all sorts of fun things. We'll be sharing creative tips and tricks that can help us feel good, interviewing other awesome creative folks in the industry who use creativity for mental well-being, and maybe even doing some creative challenges together that can help us express ourselves. So buckle up, get ready to unleash your creativity and explore how it can help us feel our best, and let's have some fun. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of my podcast, Let's Get Creative. I'm Sam Rawlings and I'm a children's creative counsellor, and I interview loads of wonderful people to help them feel inspired to share their story, and it's around creativity, mental health and family support. And today I've got the amazing Diana, and I've been kind of waiting for her to come and speak to me, and she has now. So here we are today. Let's introduce her. Hi, Diana.
Hi, Sam. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. So appreciate it. And yes, we've been trying to coincide for so long, and then this is aligned on the 7/7.
Yeah. And I think it's important for us to kind of reflect on this day, because it's so important to so many people, and it will have affected so many people as well, and still will in loads of ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's really important to do that. However, it'd be wonderful to kind of hear, who you are really, for everybody who's listening or watching.
Yeah, no, absolutely fine. I'm Natural Transformation, Diana from Natural Transformation. It's a therapy that I've developed and created. Part of it was given to me by Spirit when I went to Canada, my spiritual home. And the other part is my wealth of wisdom of energy therapies and modalities that I've been working within for at least 20 years. But really, I've been working with them since I was a child. I decided, because I didn't want to see things, I kind of locked that down. It was just too scary at a certain age. And would you believe I was 7? Interesting. When I first had my first experience with Spirit. So I said I didn't want to see, hence that I didn't want to see. Because I come from a line of 5 generations of women that have all had clairs within their dimension of their being. My mum was a clairvoyant. I'm clairsentient and clairaudient, but also have some psychic abilities. I've done a lot of training in this kind of stuff. I haven't just dipped my feet in. It's a real lifelong learning. And I'm passionate about being able to provide this beautiful therapy that has 4 sequences to it, which includes drawing. So Sam's like,
oh, that's exciting.
Sam's like, oh, definitely my kind of thing. And when we're drawing, we're actually releasing what we want to get rid of. And then while we then bring in what we want to bring in with the colours, with the diamond, with our positive intention, and lots of other things are involved. But, the way I flow is every person is unique who comes into my healing lodge. So my intuition and my transformational ability is to help them and guide them in the best possible way for them. So I do a lot of teenagers who maybe have social anxiety. I'm neurodivergent myself, and my 2 grown-up kids are neurodivergent. So I've found that this particular therapy that I've created absolutely is amazing to help them to connect with their inner kind of peace, calm, but also just to go, you know what, I don't need that anymore. That's not who I am. And this is what I want to be part of. And it helps them to move into that energy, because energy within business and professionals and personal is so important. And we kind of can easily forget to recharge our batteries.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for your amazing introduction. I know you, I know you as a friend within business, and also I've come to you for therapy as well. And it's just, your energy is incredible. Your healing, the way that you heal is so, I guess it's hard to kind of explain and put into words, but it is very unique. It is very different. And I know that you use hypnotherapy, and I know that's like a large part of it. However, all your extra parts as well are just so, they're just so wonderful. You walk away from your lodge and it's just, you feel empowered just from that one session. And that's what it's about, isn't it? I mean, being a counsellor myself, we know how important it is to help with healing. But sometimes I think it's like using our creative minds, our creative thinking because every person is individual who comes through our doors, isn't it? Aren't they?
Yeah, not one size fits all. And because thank you for saying such lovely things about me. And I exactly feel the same thing about you, Sam. We're very aligned with each other, and we're very much into nature, how to help parents, how to help children, how to help teenagers, how to help adults that are struggling with the juggling. We're juggling so many plates as a parent, as a mum, as a daughter, as a friend, as a wife. And we therefore sometimes lose ourselves within that. And when we lose ourselves within that, we don't always recognize that we have. We just kind of realize, oh, we're not sleeping very well, or we're getting a bit angry quicker, we're frustrated, things that would normally not actually impact us. All of a sudden, we've got a very short fuse, and it comes out in the wrong places, usually at the wrong time. Unless skilled, very good like we are, as I am, and I've masked it for a long, long time. And masking absolutely drains you. It absolutely takes so much energy to mask and be this, oh, I'm okay, really. When inside, actually, bloody hell, I'm not, I'm knackered. I'm really tired and my sleep's getting impacted. You get to menopause and perimenopause, and all of a sudden you're like this choose person that boundaries are starting to get put in because just a minute, I can't do that. No, I can't do that anymore. And therefore you just think, actually, you start looking and reflecting, where does my energy need to be? How is it best serving me as a person? And where is it draining me? So one good thing that people who are listening to this could do is potentially reflect on situations, people, circumstances. Could be at work, could be a little thing that somebody says at work, that just all of a sudden you're just like, oh my God, my energy feels strange. You could be just walking through a room of different people on computers and laptops, all doing whatever they're doing. And then there's a phone call, one of them's getting an aggressive phone call. And I just call it like, maybe people don't understand this, but a lot of people will. From Snoopy, there's Linus, and he goes with a little cloud over his head and he has a blanket. It's the cutest little thing because he has a blanket. But wherever he goes, he sucks the life force energy because he's got a cloud over his head. So there are people that, known or unbeknown to them, will be draining your energy. And it's actually, well, how do I feel in that person's company? What's the situation? How did it make me feel? What can I do for me to not be so drained and tired and exhausted? And like, oh my God, you could be just even walking down the street, somebody starts talking to you. You're one of these people, Sam, that everybody talks to.
Oh, always.
I can be in a supermarket. I can be walking my dog. I can be doing whatever. I'm minding my own business. I'm going, hi. And, I'm just enjoying walking my dog. And then all of a sudden I get somebody's life from beginning to end. And I'm happy that that person sees me as this open person. But afterwards I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry. Oh, I'm really sorry I shouldn't say that.
Oh my God. No. You
Oh
know
my
what?
God.
Can you just say, Diana,
Oh my God.
I've had like different guests on before you today, and it's okay Be
Okay.
you. Whatever
Right.
comes out of your mouth.
So I'm going to give your lovely listeners something, 3 tangible things that they can take away today.
Okay, so Diana, you said that you want to share something with our listeners today.
Yeah. So I'm going to show the listeners how to tap out negative energy and then seal in and protect their energy. So when we're having those moments, when we're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and things are just getting on top of us, I just want you to start Templar playing, which is very soft, gentle tapping on your head. Now, Templar is like a drum, so it's very gentle. And what we're doing here is we're actually creating some stimulation within the nerve endings. So everything, just nice little Templar playing. Just be gentle. But just think to yourself, while I'm doing all this, I'm actually going to flick off, a bit like Taylor Swift, Shake It Off. We're going to flick off that negative energy. So even if you wanted to actually put Taylor Swift on, it's a really good one because it's high vibrational and you're literally shaking off that person's energy. All the day, all things that have frustrated you. You're a human being with lots of energy, 7 layers in your aura, 7 chakras. So let's just tap out. Then we're just going to come down to your neck. You're just going to be a little bit gentle on your neck. Don't want anybody bruising themselves. It's not that kind of thing. It's a gentle, yeah. Again, you're stimulating nerve endings. And you're kind of saying, I want this energy to go. So you're going to go down your arm. You can call it a bit of happy slapping if you want, because you're going to take the negativity out. Because as you're slapping, again, go on the inside of your arm. And we want to come across here, because this is a major one. It's a bit like if you want to give your thymus a thump in here, that's the middle bit. Amazing for getting rid of negative energy. It's like in between the boobas, literally on your sternum. Yeah, give it a nice little whack, but don't bruise. I'm not going to have anybody bruising themselves today. Okay, and that really gets rid of negative energy while boosting your immune system. Double whammy, brilliant. We're going to then go across and then slap again, but not too. Just don't be harsh on yourself. You probably can hear me that I'm actually slapping. Yeah. Again, we're stimulating nerve endings, and we're going to come across here, go a bit under the armpits, kind of EFT things. Yeah, can do it that way. I was thinking, ooh, ooh, I want to be like you. Ooh, ooh.
My coordination, I have to do it that way.
It's yeah, you can do it either way. Ooh, ooh. And here we're stimulating the spleen. So all this down we go. Oh, it's a bit like the hacker. Then going to the bum, and you're going to literally all the bits of the maximus, glutamus, minimus, medius, which is your glutes. That's your actual terminology for the muscles. And you're going to give them a right good whack. Shake it out, ooh, ooh, shake it out. When we're moving our hips, because we use a lot of our hips need moving. Shake it out, shake it out. Then you're going to go down your legs, all the way down to the bottom, all the way back down. Oh, just literally just think about the hacker. When the New Zealand people do that hacker move, they're literally getting rid of negative energy, but they're actually saying, and I'm stepping into my power. Yeah. Because, you know, I wouldn't want to go against somebody who's doing all that. Oh,
absolutely not.
So that's literally what we're doing. And then I want you to flick it off, 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 shake it off, flick it off. Sweat. You literally, any kind of energy that's not of the highest good, anything that's connected to you that's not yours, you're just saying, have it back. It's not mine. I'm not keeping it. See ya. Yeah. Right. How do you feel now, Sam?
Full of energy. I mean, I was anyway, because I was excited to talk to you. However, that's just give me an extra boost. I just want to dance. I'm stood up as well.
Well, we dance and do a bit of somatics, because you know what we're like.
Dance, yeah.
So if we move our shoulders, we're literally moving any energy. Sometimes we feel like we've got the pressure of the world on our shoulders.
Yeah.
So we can do a bit of soca.
I'm not a carnival dancer.
Hip moving, bit of Shakira. Oh, baby, when I start like that. And when we move our hips in a circle of 8, the affinity, we're actually shaking off negative energy, but then move them in the other way. So move it one way and then do the figure of 8 again. You're moving negative energy out of your hips. When we move negative energy out of our hips, we're moving forward freely with our energy. Yeah. So all that next moving, it don't matter how you do it, just shake it off. Just move it. Yeah. Now I want you to then seal in this energy. So you feel more vibrant, you've taken it off. Say if you're at work and you just sat at somebody's desk and you're thinking to yourself, how can I do that, Diana? I can't. I would have to go to the toilet and sort it all out and do all this. You literally can just do that. Okay, because you're talking about your gamut point. Your gamut point is here, and we use it in tapping. Using this gamut point here, like a little karate shell, will just reset. It releases negative energy. You can always also use that one on our hand, which is literally down from your little finger. There's a lovely natural groove. Little press on that. Just tap it. Yeah? And the more we tap and the more we connect with our good energy while getting rid of our negative energy, the more often you do that, like that little bit of tapping just there, your body will get used to it. And if you do it with a nice deep breath, yeah, yeah. So with that out of the desk, you're thinking that person's just come and dumped a load more stuff on me. So you could literally just under the table, tap, under the table, tap, and then you can just shake off the legs because they're not going to see what you're doing. You're flicking their negative energy off you, and you could just go, nobody's going to notice that.
No.
Because you're not going to, and the more you do it, the more your body gets used to doing it. It's like deep breathing, connecting with your vagus nerve. The more we do that calm breathing, the quicker our body responds to it in lots of different situations. So now we're just going to go for protection. Very, very, very simple technique. Think of your favourite colour.
Got it.
Think of, some people might not be able to remember this, but the Scottish Widows used to have an advertisement where the woman had the most amazing velvet cloak that went all over her head, went all down to the floor. I put a turquoise one on because that's my favourite colour. So my turquoise velvet cloak goes on. So I'm visualising that from the very top of my head to the tips of my toes, I'm covered in my favourite colour. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stepped into it visually, knowing that I'm protecting myself. But at the same time, I've put the song on, I am titanium.
Oh, yeah.
I'm bulletproof. Yeah, the song is, I am titanium. So every bit of this protection that you've put on, whether you do a cloak, whether you do a bubble, whether you do a triangle, or a whatever.
Pyramid.
Favorite colour, pyramid, your favourite colour, can completely cocoon yourself in that protection. And you can do that from the minute you get out of the shower in the morning. You can do it various times during the day. But knowing that you've energetically protected yourself, because your energy is so important. You're important. Yeah. So you're stepping into that powerful, positive energy of yourself. And that's going to really help you. So you've actually got 3 tips already in there.
Amazing.
And my friend says to me, Diana, I could talk to you all day because the amount of tips that you just come out with loads. It's like, Diana, you're full of all this knowledge. And I am, but we're always evolving. We're always learning. We're constantly learning new things. And
Absolutely.
That's about energy therapy work and the therapy we do. You're constantly evolving. You're constantly reflecting on your own journey, so that then now in my journey as a therapist, can I utilize this to help my whoever comes through my door?
Everything's just collapsing at this side. So for everybody who's listening and watching, when I was stood up, I had to just balance everything. I mean, behind the scenes is just hilarious sometimes.
It's a bit like life, isn't it? So you were having to juggle all those
I
things.
would just juggle. Also, Diana, because I wasn't aware, even though we'd discussed things, I wasn't aware this was happening. I was like, it threw my nervous system, and it was just like, what am I going to do? You know, so that has massively helped me to just laugh it off and go, that's okay. Like you said, it's life.
It's life. And I'm going to join in with Diana because I trust her. Trust is massive in everything that we do. Yeah, and I'm going to go with the flow with Diana because that's just the way she rolls.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I think if we wouldn't have been on a podcast then, I think we would have just been dancing.
Oh, absolutely.
Proper dancing.
Got the music on for Shakira, the Taylor Swift. That'd been it. We'd have been just dancing together for a good half hour at least.
Definitely so. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was so wonderful. Thank you. I think that will help so many people that's listening, watching, be able to share with other people. So one of the things I wanted to kind of ask you is, I know the importance of tapping, but so if somebody, say particular parent has been watching and they want to support their child or their teenager, how would they go about it? Would they have to like train? Can they do it themselves? Can they do it on somebody else? How does it work?
To be fair, you can help your child to tap quite easily. There's a lot of videos on the internet and things. It's the acknowledgement of their feeling. Yeah, that's the important part, and using their words. That you can just simply tap that point, and they could just say, "I'm feeling sad today. I want to move this out of my body. Or maybe they don't even know what the feeling is. Whatever this feeling is that I'm feeling that's making me feel, hemmed in, not hemmed in, but that I'm not able to express what I'm saying. Whatever this feeling is that's making me frustrated, I'm just letting it go. I'm letting it go. I don't want it to stay in me. I can show you a very quick tapping, which you don't even have to think about what you're doing. It literally just does what it says on the tin. But it's more about the child acknowledging to the parent what they're feeling. And sometimes, a lot of the times I hide it. A lot of times I mask it. A lot of the times it's telling they have a massive meltdown. And then it's gone too far and they're trying to then piece what was the original thing. It's usually a lot of things all tapped into one, isn't it? It starts with something and then all the other things tap on. So for a kid and a parent, for me, it'd be just sit with them, acknowledge that space for them and say, how can we, even doing that shaking, even that tapping that we've just done would be massive because it's somatic, it's nervous. It's like shake that energy out. Ask them, how do they want to move it? Do they want to stomp? Stomp, 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 stomp. I'm doing RJC dance now.
That's what you were.
Stomp, stomp, stomp. Stomping is massive. When we stomp, we're putting energy and like letting the energy of the earth go in, and we're like, right, I'm here, back, back, back. But it isn't all about all the negative. We can let that go, and then we can bring some really good stuff in of moving. Moving our body that makes them feel good. Or they could be just one that wants to lay on the grass, completely lay on the grass and immerse themselves on that feeling of coolness of the grass and just looking up at the sky and watching the clouds go by and making and saying, I used to do this as a kid a lot and I still do it and I love it. And I did it with my kids and I'd say, I'm just going to stare at the clouds because I find them really calming. I'm also going to do a little bit of a competition with you because kids love a competition.
Oh, of course.
Who can see things in the clouds? And how does that cloud make you feel? Because like you could see a bear or you could see a love heart or you could see you know, you could see something, angel wings, or it's their interpretation of what they're seeing in that cloud. And there is a word for it through Native American Indian First Nation, but I don't know the name of it. It is quite interesting name, but I'm neurodivergent, so it's not kicked in and stayed in long term. But just staring at the clouds and having that time to sit, to lay with your kid,
Yeah.
and look at the sky and bring the natural things in that can, right, okay, how does the blue make you feel? They might not want to say it. It could be, blue makes me happy because it's blue. Or the clouds are just so lovely, mum, as they're moving. And they might see something else in the nature that they could see a butterfly, they could see whatever. It's about what are they seeing and how can they express or even just simply be themselves laying on the grass, looking at the sky.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, now that I do walk and talk therapy, and I work with young people, and you know, those sessions, they are around being outside in nature and just whatever comes for them. And we do like look at the clouds. Sometimes it is just that pause as well, because they can be on a bit of a pace, you know, like they're releasing, like what you're talking about, but they're doing it through pacing and pacing and pacing and pacing. And I'm just like, with them as well, which can be quite funny. Or they want to talk and pace, and it just completely drains their energy. So then just getting them to pause. You know, I've got some like love being by the water, so that is their releasing space. Some like being in the woods and climbing trees, that's their releasing space. It's whatever feels right for them. Playing football, you know, whatever. And I'm very open to how they want to use that space, because it's the resources is nature, as you well know. We're not in a room, so we're not in this closed space, which particular for, again, you know yourself, being neurodivergent, but being neurodivergent in a small space can be so closing in and overwhelming. So being outside, it's like, this is the space, this is a room, here we go, you know.
Opens you up, and they might just start to even look at the insects, the butterflies, you know, anything that they're interested in nature is taking them into a space of beauty and joy and peace and calmness and clarity without them even thinking of those things. It's just happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And I found that the not successful, but the sessions, the therapy that seems the most like supportive healing is where they've just allowed themselves to, you know, and sometimes young people don't feel that they can behave as younger children, but when they're in nature, something magical just happens, doesn't it?
It is. Yeah, it does. It's like I'm reconnecting with that part of me that loves the space, that loves the openness, that loves that greenness, or doing poo sticks in a stream.
Oh, yeah.
Poo sticks in a stream. It's the simple simplicity of therapies that actually is the key. And I do training, I do Reiki, I do Sakima, I do Egyptian Katush, and my own therapy and crystal. And I've when I was getting taught, because I've got a degree in teaching, they said there was a thing called keep it simple, stupid. And I was like, I don't like the word stupid. As a neurodiverse person or anybody, you don't like the word stupid. So I've made one called Keep It Simple Solution.
Oh, yes. That's good.
That's my bag. Keep it simple solution.
Absolutely. Go on. I'll let you continue.
So it's keep it simple solution. So let's keep it simple, because the solution is simple. When we overcomplicate it, there's too many steps. And when when we're in that space, because obviously, unfortunately, I lost my mum this year very suddenly and unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And I I will say I struggle, and this is the year of complete struggling for me, because she's the last of the generation, the last of the elders, and I cared for her for 3 years. So I was her best friend, a confidant, mum and daughter, I'm not saying there weren't times when my mum was a bit like the woman from Kathy Tate, the grandma, because the disease that she had, which was COPD, which then had carpopulmonarian, which is heart failure, it frustrated her. She couldn't do the things she wanted to do. And she was an amazingly strong woman. So to see this woman, fiercely independent, strong, couldn't get a breath, couldn't go do things. And in the end, even trying to actually dress herself took an hour. She was the last of the lineage of our wise, elders, and the rest of the family, unfortunately. My stepdad died 5 years before. My mother-in-law, 4 years this year. And prior to that was Justin's dad. Prior to that was Justin's uncle. Prior to that, I had breast cancer. It was a huge, massive change. Lost my two very close friends and mentors during COVID, just after COVID. That was massive. Lost my clairvoyant and psychic mentor. That, it all impacts. And what I did, which a lot of people do, I went into automatic pilot.
Yeah.
Oh, I can cope with this. I'm okay. And I just got on with the things that needed to be done, but I was numb. And I knew that was my coping strategy to get through it. So I'd lost my mum. I was orphaned. And when you say those words, it's a massive impact on your heart. It's like, oh, don't like saying that out loud. I've gone to grief counselling. Did by St Gemma's, because my mum was under St Gemma's. She never went there, but the team used to come out, because COPD and cancer, the teams work together.
Yeah.
Because it's so debilitating. And as soon as I rang St Gemma's and let them know, they literally said, right, I'm going to get you straight on, as fast tracking you on to grief counselling as I can, because you've got PTSD. And I am so thankful for reaching out to them. They're an amazing counselling service. And I've gone from being where I couldn't even, if I cried, I'd try and stop myself, because I knew that if I carried on crying, I don't know when I'd stop. We do this.
That's a big fear with a lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I also think it's a British thing. Okay, I'm going to say it. I'm sorry. Crack on, press it down, don't let it out. And by March time, I was running, I don't even think I was running on fumes. And I had to really take a step back. Fortunately, that coincided with the counselling. It also fortunately coincided with me having some very deep conversations with with my coach, Tara Brevitt, and some other energy therapists, and like Zoe, one of my students. She's really good with sound healing. So she said, right, I'm going to do you one-to-ones with sound healing baths. And I went, yeah, I'll take that. She needed me to be a case study, but I pay now, which is absolutely fine, because the difference in me, I looked at why I was suppressing stuff. What was the dark side of me that I didn't want to show people?
The shadows.
Yeah, the shadow self. I'd never wanted to work with shadow self. As I walked shadow self, I didn't want to see that part of me. It was angry, it was frustrated, it was seeing unjustness, it was seeing unfairness, it was screaming, it was shouting, it was having a tantrum. It was all the things that I didn't want to be reminded of as my dad, because my dad, my mum and my brother, it was domestic violence. So shouting was a massive thing and hitting was a massive thing. So I didn't want to see that part of me because I didn't want to remind it of being part of my dad, because I am totally different from my dad. I made that decision very early on. But I did a lot of work on myself. I did some meditations when my spirit guide came in and started talking to me. And I said, right, I need to speak to my shadow self. So I started talking to my shadow self. And it was, I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I don't want to be angry anymore. I need for you to integrate me within the light part of you, because black is all the colours of the rainbow anyway.
Yeah, of course.
So we can't have darkness without light. And when we work with energy,
Mm-hmm.
it's about helping you. If you can help yourself out of that, then therefore the teaching or the learning, as people say, will be to help facilitate that for others.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
And get them. I mean, my actual slogan is natural transformation. Diana will help you to reconnect, clear your shite and reconnect with your light.
Yes, I love it.
We are works in progress. I'm not going to say that I have every single thing for that person. However, what I have is the belief that they can do it themselves. They hold the key to setting themselves free. They do. You're not broken. You don't need to be fixed. You haven't got parts of your soul that are fragmented. Sorry, that I've heard all this in health and wellbeing festival.
That's okay. There's no need to be sorry.
And I keep away from those stalls because, yeah, it's not my bag. I'm in a community of people that are like-minded, who are walking the same path as me, who are therefore creating the space for people, everybody included, to know that they have the power within themselves to empower themselves and move or get out of the stuck situation. They might feel drained, they might feel completely knackered. They might feel like, oh, how do I get out of this, because I don't think I can. And they might procrastinate about it for a while. I'm quite good at procrastinating.
Sometimes.
And especially if we know
own it though, don't we? We own it now.
We're owning it now. And to do that is you're actually having to put a mirror up against yourself.
Yeah.
And when we put that mirror up against that self, we've got to look at, actually, there's some really good stuff going on. I'm really good at this. I've achieved this. I'm grateful for this. Actually, if I write all my achievements down and have it very on the wall, here's another tip, obviously, that's what I've achieved. And I'm still achieving. So, yes, we can dwell. And there's a bit of spirit coming in there now.
That's why your throat's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. We can dwell on what's going wrong. And it's natural for to sit in that space as well and acknowledge it. But you don't want to be in it all the time. You don't want to feel like you're stuck in that energy. And it can feel like you are stuck. It's like, how am I going to move forward? Because I've tried that and I've tried this and I've done a bit of that and I've dabbled in a bit of that. And you've done certain things. My biggest takeaway is 15 minutes of self-care 3 times a day.
Yeah, love it.
15 minutes, small snappies, 15 minutes of self-care 3 times a day. Laying on the ground.
That's a wonderful thing to say. That makes it more manageable as well, doesn't it?
It does, because when people used to say, oh, meditate for an hour, I was like, oh my God, an hour?
An hour?
In an hour? An hour?
I get bored and fall asleep anyway.
Yeah. It's like, an hour? No, 15 minutes. My non-negotiables are 15 minutes of yoga, 15 minutes of meditation, or just sitting in silence. Yeah. And I always have 15 minutes when I'm out in my garden and I'm barefoot.
Yes. The best way.
And when it's raining.
Oh, yeah. Even the best way. Absolutely. So it kind of brings me on to, I'm very conscious that we've obviously not spoke about 7 and 7, but I feel that would be so beautiful to speak about at the end, because I love that you flipped it round and you've done your tips at the beginning, just
Yeah.
to completely throw me today, Diana, because I know that's your aim today. I just know that's what it's about. She's like, I'm not going to do it the way that
No,
she
I
always
would
do
never
it.
intentionally do that. Ever. I wouldn't do that to you, Sam, ever. No.
Not, no.
With a neurodivergent in me thinking, right, let's get my tips out of the way. And then I know that I've given them, anybody who's listening, some really good stuff.
Yeah. And I love the way that you do it. And it goes back to the creative mind. It's there all the time. And that's why I love like being in your energy. So I just want to bring something up because in May this year, myself and two other amazing women, Emily Kirk and Claire Marshall, we run our first Power of Three event, and we did not know what to expect. Now it went absolutely amazing and incredible, and it's made us realize that actually we can do more. Like you're saying, Diana, we can do more, we can help more, you know, because it is for people in the wellbeing industry. Diana came to that, but do you want to tell your little story, that how you felt about how you felt about it, and that were this, like, you know, like I'm on my rocking chair right now. The metaphor.
Yeah, the metaphor is natural transformation, creating a workshop. Thought, right, I'm going to really take myself out of my comfort zone. And I'd got all my resources together. It was like, yeah, I'm going for it. I know what I'm doing. And then I couldn't find my Fuchsia pencils. Okay. I just couldn't find my Fuchsia pencils. And Fuchsia, the deep pink, is an important part of the actual process within it. And I'm like messaging Sam, have you got any Fuchsia pencils or felt tips? I go check now, like this. And I'm like, I hope you have. I really hope you have. But because I'm a neurodivergent person, I knew I had Fuchsia pink ribbon up in my box, and I knew I had Fuchsia pink card and the green that I'd be using within the first part of the sequence. But because it's partly you're actually drawing it, and that helps the cognitive process of going into your brain and actually creating that connection, I was like, oh, I kind of went a bit, I was like, oh. Sam just said, yeah, I've got some, don't worry about it. So I literally arrived, and obviously we're all nervous. We've never really kind of done this thing before. Welcomed really wonderfully, beautiful space to do it in. And I was due to do it in the afternoon. And I was like, you get nervous, you get the butterflies. And I know that when you get the butterflies, it's because it's important to you. So, yeah, I actually stepped way out of my comfort zone and provided natural transformation therapy within just the first sequence. And I was extremely proud of myself. But what I will say is the environment, the nature, the day, yourself, Claire, and Emily are just a working community of like-minded people wanting to create space for other people. So that was very much appreciated and very relevant on the day. And I got to meet other people within businesses, to which one we're keeping the connection going. And yeah, watch that space, because something's coming from that.
That's really exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah. So the idea, so what I'm hearing from you is that you felt held.
I felt held. I kind of went through a massive wobble.
Yeah.
Which I think, having gone through what I've gone through this year, and I'm still evolving and going through what I need to go through, because I'm actually honouring the fact I need to grieve.
Yeah.
Honouring that, I'm actually taking that space and going, this is a priority. It's a non-negotiable for me now. I took myself out of my comfort zone, and I proved to myself that in that space that was provided, I felt appreciated for what I create, and also the energy of all the women around created a unity.
Yeah.
We're all here to support and create this energy throughout. And that can't be, it sounds weird, but I'm going to say it can't be bought. It can't be. So therefore, that's why I've booked on again to provide natural transformation again for the next
with your fuchsia pens this time.
I sorted it right. But you do get creative. You just think, right, I've got ribbons people might want to touch. Feel that, take that colour into your body. How does it feel? Bringing the divine feminine in, we all get curveballs.
Yeah.
And it's just how we deal with it. And when we don't deal with it, it just comes and bites us in the bum.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it'd be really good to kind of, because, you talked quite a lot about being neurodivergent, and
Yes.
I think for you, that's how you've had to like adapt, almost find a new identity to go with who you are, who you were. I mean, we change, don't we? We're constantly evolving. But for you, it's been a big change as well. And so I think it'd be really lovely to kind of hear a little bit about how you've kind of managed that. I know your therapy helps you a lot, the way that you work, because you support yourself as well. But just for anybody who's listening who might not know how that might change who they are as well, I guess.
Because I got my dyslexia on my teaching degree in holistic therapies, that was huge for me. It made me realise that, at school, when my English teacher had said to me, "Thank God, Diana, we're doing continual assessment and you can redo these blinking essays, because if you were in an exam, you'd never pass. You're stupid, aren't you?" And I went, and I really like this teacher. That is, she's in front of the class. I'm like, whoa, please don't say that.
No.
I've worked really hard on what you class as potentially not good quality stories. They've come from my imagination, or they're part of, some of them were actually talking about the passing of my nana, because unfortunately she died in a car crash, and she was my second mum, and she died on Charlie Sweet's corner over the bridge, and I was like, whoa. But you crack on and you do, and you still keep persevering, because there's something instilled in you to go, I need to get that qualification. People, my mum and dad had always said, get good qualifications, you'll get your foot through the door, you'll get a good job. Well, it was really important. So when I told my mum really got upset. She went, "Well, I didn't know what it was, Diana. I didn't know you were dyslexic. How could I have helped you?" And I went, "Mum, you used to sit helping me with spellings, punctuations, full stops, capital letters, grammar. She'd sit with me when I'd done what I'd done, and she'd go through it again and tell me to just, oh, this can be a paragraph. You don't need that in." Doing spellings with me continually, reading with me. My mum couldn't have done any more. So it isn't about the guilt. It's not about being embarrassed. It's actually about talking about, actually, these things are challenging for me. Talking about putting stuff on social media. If I do a spelling mistake or it's not grammatically correct, you don't realise that potentially that might have taken me 3-4 times to get that on there. And that's completely normal. And also kind of being aware that when I do get overwhelmed, I need to just go into some self-care and just take that time away. I can be overly stimulated by big crowds. If it's too noisy, it's too much for me. I go very quiet. And I know that you know me well, Sam, so you'll know if I'm out somewhere, you'll have known, oh, Diana's gone quiet.
Yeah.
That's because I'm having to either take myself away or I'm just processing what's being said. It doesn't mean that I'm not listening. I am listening. And another thing that I've noticed, and my kids pointed it out to me, it's when your kids point it out to you, that I can nervously talk about anything and everything to a complete stranger. So if they open up a conversation with me, I realize that actually that's part of my neurodiversity, that I sometimes feel uncomfortable in a silence. If I've created the
Yes.
silence for myself, that's absolutely fine. Yeah. But
Yeah.
if it's too much of a pause and it feels uncomfortable, I'll be that person that'll break a little joke or how you doing, or, you know, and that's part of my neurodiverse. I didn't realise till my kids went, do you know what, Mum? We're sick of you talking to every Tom, Dick and Harry. Can you just calm it down? And I actually reflected and I thought, do you know what? So that's actually part of my neurodiversity, because if I talk and I'm seen as social, then I don't really have to share the side of me that wants to be quiet and sit. And
Yeah.
so be aware that people who are neurodivergent could be their yappers, as well as the really quiet people and the people in between. We are who we are and we've got to own it. And it makes me who I am. And I know that this time in my career and my personal and professional, I'm actually talking about it. I'm actually getting out there and saying, you know, it's me. It's what makes me me. And if I'm weird and I'm wacky and I'm out there and I'm witchy energy and I'm all this, that's just me, because I'm spiritual and I'm owning the fact that I am a spiritually intuitive transformational therapist.
Wonderful. I love it. I feel like you need to. Amazing. I just feel like you were stood on stage then, just
Well,
saying,
that's exactly where I want to be.
Yeah, well, you can get there. You will get there, absolutely. I know you will. I've got so much belief in you anyway. Thank you. Just thank you. I've absolutely loved our conversation this morning. It went different ways to what I expected, but actually I love that spontaneity as well in you, and, you know, and that I'm able to kind of manage that without, you know, because obviously we've both done a lot of work on ourselves, haven't we? So yeah, just so beautiful. It would be so wrong of me for us not to reflect on this really important day. But I also want to just mention on there that you were 7 when it kind of all started for you.
Yeah.
And the 7 chakras as well.
Yeah. And you've got 7 auric layers in your aura.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a huge energetic kind of really mixed it is today as well, I would say.
Yeah, because there's a lot of reflections about what happened 20 years ago, you know, in London. And your heart goes out to all those people that were who witnessed that and who were part of it, who have had to have such life-changing things. If we send love out to all of the families, everybody who is experiencing challenges at this moment in time, throughout our world, our universe, and send that positive intention out for healing, for positive energy, for love, and for unity, in knowing that we are all the same and we all embrace our differences, because we are one energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're one energy, one light, and we positively need to put that out there by lighting a candle and saying, I'm sending this love to anybody who needs it, to myself, but to my family, the whole of Britain, the whole of, you know, the world. You know, it's not going to drain you, it's going to sustain you.
Yeah.
And that's all the power of community, the power of people collectively, positively, ripple effect.
Yeah. What a beautiful moment. What a beautiful moment. I honestly absolutely love it. So let's just we're coming near to the end now. So where can people, 2 things, because this is how you, like, you know, how you process it better. So the first thing is, where can people find you and what is coming up for you?
Right then, people can find me on my website, which is naturaltransformationtherapy.uk. You can find me on Facebook, Natural Transformation, Instagram, natural.transformation.therapy. You can ring me if you wish to. I love to talk to people. Obviously, emails are absolutely fine. My email is hello@naturaltransformation.uk. I do a free connection call of 20 minutes. So if anybody wants to connect with me to see if I'm the right therapist for them, and that's the right therapy for them, that's absolutely fine. I've got a healing lodge, purpose built, Leeds 15. I've got my own beautiful wolf that resides in that area, but if you've got a fear of dogs, he won't be out, so don't worry about that. And yeah, just connect with me in any shape, way or form. And I think that's really it. I mean, obviously, I love the fact that I've been in a book called Beyond the Ordinary. The next book's coming up called Unruled, which I know Sam's included in that. So let's give a shout out, because we're allowed to shout out about it.
Yes, I am. This will be the second book collaboration for me, like you. And this one feels very different. And at the moment, my nervous system does not know what to do with it, shall we just say?
Yes, I can understand that. Yeah, absolutely. And my projects that are coming up is that I do Reiki shares every month. I run an intuitive connection to Spirit Circle, which is online every month. And that's a membership. So you can come on that, and it's an hour and a half call every first Wednesday of the month, and it's a cheap price. That sounds really bad. It's a very good price of £20 per month. I do ask that you do like a minimum of 3 months subscription, because then you're going to get the most out of it. 6 months is best, but the people that I have in there have been on there 3 years, and we celebrated that last year.
Amazing.
So we had a birthday celebration.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and the typical Diana timing, instead of it being an hour and a half session, it was 2.5 hours long. I'm a giver. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Wonderful. Wow. My energy is not drained. In fact, it's completely the opposite. Just speaking to you, Diana, I am so glad that we finally got here. Every conversation, every word that's spoken and things is just meant so much to me today. So thank you so much for joining me. Honestly, it's just been fantastic. Loads of laughs and giggles, which is what it's all about.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody who has joined me today, and Diana. It's just been so fabulous. I would definitely recommend you contacting her, having a look at her website and things like that. Yeah, there's loads of different things for you to be able to get some support, or like she said, contact her for a call if you're a little bit unsure about things. It could be for your child, for yourself, it could be to do with neurodivergence, it could be anything as such in those kind of routes. Yeah, so thank you everybody. And I will be back with another episode soon. So have a lovely day. If it feels right for you, light a candle, even if it's just that connection for yourself as well today. But there is no pressures to do that. Okay. See you all for now. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.